Stardust is our blue Protoss spawning on the left top side of this map. I've casted a couple of Stardust as PvPs last weekend at the Red Bull Battlegrounds in Detroit. He looked solid, he looked alright. Nothing wrong with what we've seen of him. He went up against Oz and he just kind of outplayed Oz. There's really no other way to put it. He looked better than Oz in most areas of PvP. Now, CJNT's herO is a funny guy, we all know that. He is the smiling assassin. Not many people have a better track record when it comes to Intel Extreme Masters than CJNT's herO. As of course last year he won Singapore, he also won the Intel Extreme Masters in Sao Paulo. That was actually an IEM that I casted too, and I was really happy to be there as Brazil is beautiful and awesome. But since then his PvP has been a little all over the place. I know a very famous PvP of CJNT's herO is the one that he played against Rain on Merry-Go-Round, where everybody was like, oh my god, that was like one of the greatest PvPs of all time. I hate to be a party pooper, but that was like a PvP like you see it, you know, 2 out of 5 games on that level. It was a very intense PvP because there was so much on the line, but I don't think the game was all that fantastic. It was pretty straightforward. Now herO's PvP lately has been a little bit all over the place. I casted him a couple of times in the Red Bull Battlegrounds Global and Red Bull Battlegrounds Online. I saw him lose against his teammate Trust, but I really don't want to go into that series too much because I felt like he wasn't even trying. Now what I expect most of all out of these guys is a very straight up forward play. I don't think either of them is going to chill that much. Stardust is a very relaxed guy who's pretty confident in his own ability. I know some people call him Cheese Dust or Star Cheese and whatever. He has a lot of nicknames, but he's actually pretty damn solid. He's going to open up one gate, Stargate. It's a very quick Stargate. Stargate and Money Super is the only thing. I mean, I think he started off pretty much both at the same time. He still has his probe in the main base as well. He scouts the double gate opening from herO. I really expect herO to drop a Twilight console behind this. But of course, if you open up with 2 gateways, you can still go up to 3 gateways as well. And if you go up to 3 gates, well, then you can put on some serious pressure against a player that went 1 gate, Stargate, into an Oracle and only has a Money Support at home. So we'll see. It could be closer in herO. It could be in Nexus as well. But nice. Bring probe. What are you going to do, herO? herO is currently sitting on 3 Stalkers. He could, okay, he's getting a Sentry behind it, so I guess either Twilight or a Nexus and then Twilight. But he will still be able to put some pressure on Stardust. If I'm Stardust and I scout this, I am pretty worried because there are so many things that could potentially go wrong. You know, if your opponent puts on too much 3 gateway pressure, things can get very dicey immediately. Mothership Core of herO gets a good scout off early on. Might be able to pick off a probe or maybe even 2. Okay, he gets 2 probes. I'd be very pleased with getting 2 probes. Stardust is following this up with 2 gateways, 2 gates that have been scouted by herO as well. And meanwhile, herO has his 3 Stalker hit squad. Stardust is the one following this up with Twilight behind this. I guess because he's expecting herO to do the exact same thing. herO could actually lose a lot of workers over here. It takes forever for sentries to kill an Oracle. I think if he would have positioned and controlled this Oracle a tiny bit better, I think he could have killed a lot of probes over there. Unfortunately for Stardust that wasn't the case. Because his movement was derping a little bit, but 2 sentries is not enough to kill an Oracle. If you just wait for your 2 sentries to kill an Oracle, you're going to lose 7, 8, 9 probes in the blink of an eye. That's not what you want. That's not what anybody wants. So Blink is on the way for Stardust. That's going to be his choice of follow-up. His Nexus is quite a bit later than the Nexus of CJNT's herO. No, herO's getting his own Blink. I won't say I kind of like herO's position, but he is down 7 workers, which I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised by. This Oracle is still alive as well, being annoying, got just another worker. But herO is massively up in Stalkers. He might be able to force a cancel in this Nexus. This PvP is very strange. herO has the units, and Stardust in the near future is going to have the economy as soon as his second Nexus is up. 2 more Stalkers being walked in the main base of Stardust. He should be alright. I mean, he's working up 3 gateways, he has his Mothership Core as well. This Nexus is taking quite a bit of damage, but he will start his Photon Overcharge soon. Of course, you don't want to use your Photon Overcharge in the natural and then see all these Stalkers somehow just run into the main base, but I don't think herO will ever do this. Stardust needs to cast Photon Overcharge. He doesn't have energy yet, actually. I really thought he had. So herO is getting a lot of work done over here with his Stalkers. This Nexus is close to dying, but won't die. pretty action-packed PvP. So 32 workers on the side of My Insanity Stardust against the 28 of CG Enter's herO. Both players are aiming for the exact same thing, that is playing Stalkers. 2 Stalkers against an Oracle. It already took some real damage, so I guess... I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a YOLO Protoss, but I think there were 2 scenarios in this game where if Stardust sacrifices his Oracle, he's gonna kill 4 or 5 probes more, and I think that is a trade that you're willing to make. But of course it's a lot easier when you have my unlimited vision. Suddenly I'm able to make some good decisions in PvP while normally I'm not. First Immortals on the way as well for Stardust. Once again, if you just joined us, this is only lower bracket round 2 of the dual tournament. The winner of this series will move on to play against Revival, and the winner of that one will move on to play against either Huck or Bunny, which I believe is currently played on the main stream. If there is an update of Huck versus Bunny, please let me know, guys, because I'm like genuinely curious and I would love to have that stream open on my second stream, but then I'm going to be too distracted to actually cast this game. Nice forward blink there by Stardust, gets a couple of shots off. If I was herO, I wouldn't go... He already has 1 pile in the middle of the map. I think herO is underestimating... Well, I won't say I think herO is underestimating the economic position of Stardust, but he does have 15 blink stalkers. I really think that Stardust should get a couple of zealots, because if herO blinks forward and gets on top of these immortals, things could get very dicey. But of course, you know, if you blink on an immortal, you better be damn sure that you can actually kill him. He did force out a frozen overcharge. It's 43 works against 41, and during all this, herO is going up to 3 bases. Blinks into the main base. He's going to try to pick up the robotics facility and will succeed in doing so. That is a very beautiful pickup and doesn't really lose any stalkers in the main. But good news for Stardust is that he already has blink stalkers and he has 2 immortals already, so if he just swaps in blink stalkers from this point on, it's not too bad for him. He's going to get an observer for his efforts as well. That's going to make his life a lot easier in dealing with herO that just wants to blink back and forth into his base. Now, Stardust has had a couple of very good results in PvP over the last few months. He defeated Sun 4-0 in the finals of WCS Europe Season 2. But of course, Sun is no CG Enter's herO, who again just blinks forward. He's going to work on this Nexus that was so low on HP, and he's going to be able to get the Nexus as well. He's using the shift blink, almost gets all of them out. Messes up with 3 stalkers, but still a trade that I'm willing to make very, very quickly in any given day. 3 blink stalkers in this phase in the game for a Nexus is a phenomenal trade for CG Enter's herO, who must be shocked a little bit after losing against good old Snooter. Man, I'm so sad I didn't see those games. I want to see those games tonight. That's the first thing I want to do. As soon as this broadcast is done, Snoot vs herO. I think I have to mentally prepare myself for Swarm modes, but that's completely okay. Funny to see 2 Nexus going down on the production tab at the exact same time. Stardust will try to retake his natural and is also going up to 3 bases. It does still have this Oracle. It's actually that's cool. herO is going to use the Hallucinated Phoenix to provide high ground vision for his blink stalkers over here on the left top side of this map. At the same time, he's still going to be active with these stalkers as well. herO is playing some beautiful PvP over here. He's getting into the main base of Stardust. He's going to be able to pick off 4, 5, maybe just 3. At the same time, he's going to try to find an opening in the natural. You want to be careful, herO. And he is careful, doesn't really overextend. Tried to get a sentry, doesn't succeed in doing so, but in the end was still alright. I do not understand what happened to this Nexus. Okay, this is when we truly wish we had a dedicated observer. What on earth happened to this Nexus? Maybe... Stardust has not had any units out at all for the longest amount of time, and Oracle can't kill the Nexus. I will watch the replay as soon as possible to justify what happened to the Nexus, because herO's Nexus was supposed to be done. I have no idea what happened over here. Stardust blinks forward now. It's 22 blink stalkers for Stardust, who has been going absolutely ham on the blink stalker production, while herO is only sitting on 16 blink stalkers. herO does have 4 immortals at home though, those are the gatekeepers. Did herO accidentally cancel his Nexus? That is truly what I think has happened. I missed it, maybe somebody in chat can point it out to me, but I really do not think that Stardust has attacked herO at any given moment in the last few minutes in this game. So I think the herO accidentally cancelled his own Nexus. And that definitely was an accidental cancel because there was no way that he wanted to cancel it on purpose. Well, I will watch the replay as soon as this game is over to get that confirmed. I'm confused. I'm very, very confused. Robotics base about to finish up in the main base of Stardust. He's still working on a single robotic facility. He's getting 4 more gates now. So it's going to bring him up to 9 gateways. With this like sort of delayed third base now, Stardust is suddenly in a really good position again. Yeah, a couple of blink stalkers. I must say, I was about to say it's been pretty phenomenal that this Oracle has been alive since like minute 1, but eventually the Oracle does get picked up. Well, some people are like discussing in chat right now. Someone said I think he purposely cancelled it after killing the natural because he was afraid of a counterattack, but I think that's very, very or highly unlikely. But I will watch the replay and then we can get it done. I'm obsessed over it now, so I have to let it go. Otherwise I cannot think about what is actually going on in this game, and that is that herO is moving forward with 4 Immortals. He has 2 Colossus in the mix as well. Stardust has 4 Immortals on his own. He has a massive Blink Stalker advantage, but what are you going to do with your Blink Stalkers? Are you going to blink on top of these Immortals? I'm not too sure about this. There is a Mothership Core here as well with 200 energy. There are High Templars on the field, but I think he just morphed all of them into Archons. The force fields are good, and the Archons are too far in the back of Stardust's army, so herO gets a very easy pick off. The Mothership Core does survive. Stardust blinked forward. I'm not even sure if he... I mean, he wanted to kill the Mothership Core, but I'm not sure if it would have been a good scenario for him if he killed the Mothership Core, because I was kind of digging the potential damage output of those Colossus. Or that one Colossus, at least. The Archons were very far in the back. As good as this pickup is of the Nexus, I don't think it's game changing in this phase in the game. Because I think that Stardust will have enough time to get his own Colossus out now. He's getting his second robotics facility. He has +3 on the way. It is annoying, it slows Stardust down. But I think Stardust's army was a little bit inferior anyway. So I think he gladly takes the additional time he gets from this. Even though herO is trying to move forward again. 8 Blink Stalker. Oh, if Stardust blinks into the main base, this could get very tricky for him. He doesn't have vision yet. He's going to have vision soon with his Observer. But herO is setting up a really big trap. He's like, please blink into my main base. And herO is going to be able to pick up these Stalkers almost immediately. Beautiful play by herO. That was awesome. Damn it, I wish I was this good at StarCraft. Very, very well done. Stardust takes the bait. Won't really get anything done with his Blink Stalkers. Of course, you know, these are units that you kind of want to get rid of in this phase in the game, don't get me wrong, but you want to get rid of it in a good way. You want to take down a couple of probes with you to the grave. You want to, you know, somehow find a good opening for yourself. Stardust is aware of the fact that a lot of the units from herO were on the other side of the map, so Stardust is going to try to capitalize on this and try to jump on top of these Immortals and Colossus, and so far it is working. I think this went okay-ish, but herO didn't lose a crucial amount of units there, and now the reinforcements are making their way across the map. That could have gone very bad for herO. I liked what Stardust tried to do there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. And now herO is comfortably sitting on his 4th base as well. He's taking the assimilators immediately, which of course means crazy amount of Archons. And Archons are, I don't know, like a good party. With people, the more the merrier. Colossus count is even. Here is actually up 1 Colossus. The Colossi from Stardust are very clumped up over here. This is almost a GG engagement for herO. He should be able to... Ooh, he's getting his Immortals very, very far in... this Colossus very far in the front. I'm not sure if that was the best way to handle this herO, but I think in the end it's still going to be good enough. Not often do you see a Protoss player in this level just move 4 Colossus into a bunch of Immortals. Oh, herO, did you just throw the game? Don't tell me that's actually possible, right? He still has these Immortals. They're still so strong, but this 1 Colossus of Stardust is pushing out a lot of damage. The probes are being pulled as well, which is never a good sign. Does Stardust have anything else? Oh my god, he has 2 more Colossus? Wow, I actually think that Stardust... Wow, herO really had this game. He just moved 4 Colossus literally into a bunch of Immortals from Stardust. Now Stardust is going to start dancing. herO's setting up a good sandwich here. He does get 1 Colossus from Stardust. That is a good pickup. But Stardust has Archons over here in the mix as well. Stardust needs to run with his Colossi again. He's doing a pretty good job. These Immortals are so exposed, but this 1 Immortal is going ham on these Colossus, and you will actually be able to get both of them. And I think that is still going to be good enough then for CJ and his herO. This is a very awkward fight of Immortals and Archons being very, very exposed and on their own against Zealots. And in the final end of this battle, Stardust will be able to clean up this first wave, but the Colossus are gone, which means that the next attack from herO should be good enough to pocket game number 1 here. Somebody said at the start of the game, PvP sucks. I don't think PvP sucks. I think this was an awesome game. herO does win it in the end. But that was a very funny fight. This like all started with that silly fight in the middle of the map where Stardust tried to jump on top of the units that were a little bit like alienated from the rest of herO's army in the middle of the map. And for a second I thought like, man, that was a pretty sick move. But herO, he had a good enough position, he had enough firepower to survive. And then his army looked quite a bit more intimidating than one of Stardust. And because Stardust pulled back his Colossus, herO moved his Colossi forward. And it's just like, I'll let my Colossus attack your Colossus. But then Stardust had like 3 or 4 Immortals in the mix that were literally one-shotting these Colossus. And suddenly that fight became a lot closer than it ever should have been. But in the end, you know, herO still had enough. He had enough economy behind this. He had enough reinforcements, and that was enough to, in the end, win game number 1. It was a pretty fun PvP. I enjoyed it. That is not how you normally want to move your Colossus into a bunch of Immortals. You know, I am one guy who would normally never criticize CJ Intis herO, as he's one of my idols, one of the guys that I look up to the most. Not as much as Rain, but you know, he's up there. He's one of my absolute favorite Protoss players. That was a little silly. It's one of those moments in the game where I think you're like, all right, I'm so far ahead, doesn't really matter. I'll just go kill his Colossus, and then suddenly you lose all your own Colossus, and 2 more Colossus show up from the defensive player. And you're like, and in the end, it was good enough, so it doesn't matter. I am waiting for my invite. Invite game number 2. Just make sure that I get invited. I hope this wasn't an invite in the middle of the series. Daniel actually just said that this will probably be my last one. I would be a little bit shocked if that is the case. Show replay. That is a good call. That is a good call. Do I have enough time for that? All right, let's do it real quick. I know I promised that. See, I lose focus so quickly. But okay. Stardust herO. Those are really bizarre. I mean, like, even in this replay, we can't 100% say whether it was an accidental cancel or one on purpose. As somebody did bring up the point that he said, you know, maybe he was afraid after he killed that Nexus in the natural Stardust that he felt like he needed the extra minerals, but I really don't think that's the case, because even if he would let that base finish up and Stardust would commit into killing that base, even if he kills the base, then I still think he's going to lose a lot of units. It would still be good for herO. And I think once you have your you know, your mindset on really going up to 3 bases, you always want to go up to 3 bases. So let's just take a small look. I hope I'm not buying too much. I hope I'm not delaying the game so much. But I didn't get an invite anyway yet. Wait, okay. For a second I was like, don't tell me there was a pylon, and I missed there was a pylon there all along. I would literally lose my mind. I really don't think that Stardust was like aggressive ever. I guess there is a small chance that this Oracle can't actually kill. Alright, so this is like about when it happens. Okay, so he kills this Nexus. Yeah, I think the person in chat was right. I think it was a cancel on purpose. So it wasn't an accidental cancel. Alright, we got that out of the way. Because he's just like, alright, I killed the natural, my opponent is on 1 base now. And I think he changed his mind after he saw that Stardust was still going up to 3 bases during all this. So I think it wasn't a cancel on purpose, it was not an accidental cancel, because he used that money immediately to get cannons in his natural. Alrighty. Alrighty, I am waiting. I wrote the admin to please invite me into game number 3. Or game number 2, excuse me. Unless, like, nobody told me the actual score of Stardust vs herO and this wasn't like game number 3 or 2, but I would be very rustled if that was the case. As far as I know, it was just game 1. This was a really crazy back and forth PvP with a lot of like changes of momentum and, you know. Okay, apparently Danny left and Danny didn't realize we'll get it. No. Okay, who's Master Dog? Maybe a different admin? I have no idea. So I'm just waiting for my invite. I can actually talk with the players. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning into the B stream. I think the A stream has definitely been where most fireworks have been happening today, not just because obviously you get the real production and the real experience, but above all the games that they had some phenomenal foreigner runs, which I'm very, very jealous of. But hey, I must say I had a couple of pretty funny ZVZs. Some people are asking if I meant IEM Toronto. No guys, IEM Toronto is not happening in an apartment. That would be like the coolest Home Story Cup, the Home Story Cup Toronto edition. I'd sign up for it. I'm really worried now, like, oh, I hate being so in the dark. Like, the players are not in any chat channel that I can reach them. The admin is not getting back to me. Please. Well, all we do is wait. I guess I can use game history. I must say I don't understand what is going on, why the admin is not getting back to me about either score or whatever. I'm sorry guys, like I have a really hard time talking and yeah, I got an invite. Okay, I was starting to get nervous again that I missed like somehow game number 2, but I think somebody's setting it up now. Score, I'm just going to confirm that the score is 1-0 for herO. 1-0 confirmed for herO. Just making 100% sure. Alrighty. What do I put in my hair? I don't know. Most of the time it's just I don't really want to make advertisement. You can ask that question when I'm streaming again myself. I don't really think my stream is looking great. Someone is asking, is Melanie there? Yes, he is actually, but not in the living room. Snoot just got beaten. Are you happy now? I'm not too happy about that. I would love to see Snoot qualify for the main event because that means extra WCS points and you know that means having a great story going into the main event, even though the groups are incredibly stacked. Roddy has not been ignored such victory. That is correct. I am happy. So there is a small chance that this is going to be my last series of the day, which on one hand I'm really sad about, on the other hand I'm kind of happy because that will finally allow me to get like everything set up and maybe also figure out what on earth happened this morning with my XSplit, why I suddenly decided to stream in Game Boy color resolution, and that will make me a little bit more relaxed because I've been really stressed out since the start. But I did still have a good time bringing you guys a couple of these games as the games have been sick. This is also knowledge that I will take with me into the next cast, especially casting J-Dong now in WCS America round of 16 is going to be even more fun for me because now I know a little more again, as always. What I also know is that herO is up 1-0. What colors are both players using? Stardust is going to be red. Swap players. herO is blue. I think this looks correct. Let's go ahead and hop into game. Yes, game number 2 is on the way over here. On the right top side of Overgrove. It's My Insanity Stardust is trailing 0-1 against herO after a pretty entertaining back and forth game on King Sejong Station with a lot of momentum switches. A lot of, I wouldn't really say missed opportunities, but potential opportunities where players could have gambled a little bit more. Somebody says, Roddy with no tie. No. When I'm sitting in my living room, I think it would be very silly if I'm actually sitting here like all suited up. And Toby, the guy from ESL, someone that you guys don't know, but he's super awesome. He called me, he's like, oh, you want to cast some games? And obviously I'm not expecting you to suit up. I was like, cool. Because I wouldn't really want to suit up in my living room. That looks a little sad. Like get a candle as well, get some cheese, and get a nice bottle of wine and just like suit up. Be ready for a full day of casting with my suit all by myself. And then wear like no slacks below it, you know, just the upper part of the suit. Alrighty, now Overgrove is a map that I would say plays out a little different than King Sejong, but in a way they're kind of similar as well. I personally think 1 gate Twilight into 2 more gates is fantastic on this map. and I'm kind of expecting Stardust to do it. I don't think that his Stargate play failed in the last game. I actually think he did a really great job in keeping the Oracle alive and just trying to get as much use out of it for the longest amount of time. I still preferred herO's opening though, the 2-gate into an expand and then getting the Twilight console. I just think it's a little more solid. Oracle openings can be fantastic, but I personally love Twilight play. Considering the fact that Stardust is already putting 3 and 3 on a simulator, I'm not sure if 1-gate Twilight is going to be his stack of choice, but we'll see. CJ enters herO on the other hand. I must say, a little bit off topic, but not completely off topic, is we had the teammate of CJ enters herO also making it to the Red Bull Battlegrounds in Detroit. It was Trust. Trust defeated herO pretty convincingly in a PvP series online, but I have to admit that did not look like herO was trying his absolute hardest. Maybe he just kind of wanted to see his teammate go to the Battlegrounds Global back then. In the end, Trust couldn't go, and then herO couldn't go either. I had high hopes from Trust in the Detroit, but he didn't really live up to that expectation, as Violet was simply the better player when they played against each other. That makes me a tiny bit worried, because sometimes I have no idea whether I don't think it's possible to overrate herO, because he did win 2 Into Extreme Masters. He was the runner-up of IEM Katowice, and he's one of the best performing Protoss players in the Pro League. So how can you overrate a guy that pretty much performs in all the things that matters? But maybe it's in the name, maybe it's a name thing. As Liquid herO, of course, we know that he's fantastic, but it's also a little bit inconsistent here and there. And maybe the same can be said for CJ enters herO, because I just feel that some days he just doesn't look like the same player as he does on the other days. And I did not see his games against Snoot, so I truly can't say anything about it. But anyways, we see a 1-gate Twilight in the left bottom side of the map for CJ enters herO. I love it. It could still be Dark Templar play, but I'm expecting him to be straight off, because I always just think like, what is the most solid way to play PvP? And then I'm kind of expecting herO, Parting, and Ring to open up like that with that tech of choice on this map the majority of the time. herO gets the first shot up on this Stalker, and that's really important. That will force the Stalker from Stardust to run home. As you guys see on the production tab, we also see that the Stargate is on the way for Stardust again. Right bottom side of, or right top side of the map. So Stardust just kind of lost his oracles, I guess. I prefer herO's opening, but in the end, what will most likely happen is that herO's get a slightly quicker expand, even though he still has his probe as well on the left top side of the map, so he could perhaps be very aggressive off the back of this. As I feel gateway number 2 and 3 is a little bit quicker than before. Stardust is getting a magnificent scout off with his probe that he hit on the bottom side of the map. He saw the Twilight, saw gateway number 2 and 3 as well. That's pretty much all you want to see. So again, he's getting his own Twilight console. That's actually kind of interesting though, guys, because I think most good Protoss players, whether you listen to like herObs or Todd, or I don't really want to put myself in the same line as herObs and Todd, as they're way better than me, but most of the time you would say that you should follow this up with a robotics facility if you open up with an Oracle. But Stardust is changing things up, and he's actually just going into Blink as well, just a delayed version of Blink, which, I don't know, it's different than what we normally see, because normally you say like you open up with a Stargate and then you get a robotics facility, you get out 2 Immortals, so you're safe against Blink Stalkers, and that's when you transition into an expand and you can pretty much do whatever you want, right? So Stardust is doing it a little different. I don't mind it. Good scout over here by Stardust as well on the left top side. He's going to see this pylon, he's going to see 3 Stalkers being wiped in, while he's still active with his Oracle on the south side of Overgrowth. 20 arm supply against 17. Stalker count is currently 9 against 6. Does Stardust have another Photon Overcharge? No, he doesn't. I'm really worried here. I think herO, if CJ enters herO shows us some phenomenal Blink Stalker micro, he could potentially end the game over here. He really should not lose any units. And this is like that moment where having an Immortal would be fantastic, right? If you have one Immortal here, then your life is so much easier. Now Stardust has to fight with no Blink against Blink. The only thing he does have is a better Concave, but herO smells blood. He's gonna try to push the issue, gets a Stalker. It's getting close to getting another Stalker if his focus fire was a little bit better. I must say Stardust is making the best out of this situation, because he doesn't have Blink. But I think there's still a chance he's just going to straight up die over here. Of course you could say herO has been playing with fire a little bit, because it could have been Dark Templars on the map and then herO would have been dead, or close to dead. But Stardust, did he buy enough time for another Photon Overcharge? It's close, 95 energy right now. soon to be 100. Oh, the body support gets focused and it dies before Photon Overcharge is casted. That is so huge. That might actually just be game over. From this point on, like, herO should have the time. He's scared. He of course knows about the Twilight. He's probably thinking like, hey, where is your blink? He is getting his own robotics facility now. But like, if he would just make nothing but blink stalkers. Stardust has blink now as well, so I guess it's fine. His blink finished off. I guess herO is just satisfied with killing the Mothership Core. He's like, alright, that's another expensive pickoff. It could have been worse though, because it could have been like 14 blink stalkers against 9 or 10. And how are you supposed to save yourself then if you're Stardust? Especially because some of his blink stalkers were very low on HP already. Stardust still has a full HP Oracle on the south side of the map. herO's done a really good job in not taking any damage of it at all. Stardust is just going to try to crawl his way back into this game. Economically, he's not in the worst position. You know, 27 against 28. This Nexus from herO is 50% further down than the one of his, but you know, there are ways around it. I guess he's just going to have to take a slow and steady wins the race approach over here. As I do still think, as if you're Stardust, you kind of need a robotics facility as well. I think he's going to get one soon, unless he wants to surprise us and get like maybe 3 more gateways and just go absolutely ham on blink stalkers and try to roll the dice like that and try to hit herO when herO is transitioning into maybe Colossus, maybe upgrades, but that is not going to be the case. Stardust is getting his own robotics facility, which I like it. I think it's the better decision. This Oracle is maxed out on energy. Good for his blink there by herO. And this, you know guys, if you just look at what this Oracle has achieved so far and what these blink stalkers of herO have achieved, then you have to agree with the fact that blink stalker is just the more solid opening of the two. As herO has done pretty much everything right, has dictated the pace of the game, has always had more map vision, has been able to put on some pressure, has been able to expand quicker, and above all, he just didn't take any damage. I think if you're a very, very good Protoss, which I'm not, but if you are, then majority of the time on maps like this, you want to open 1 gate Twilight. I don't really think it has a true weakness. I don't think there is one build that's straight up better than 1 gate Twilight into 2 more gates and expand. You could say maybe 2 gate expand into Twilight, but I don't know. And even then, like, the difference is minimal. Well, I feel in this situation where, you know, herO is not having like a hammer lock on this game. This is not game over yet. This can truly still go either way, because it's hard to push the issue anyways in PvP, just like it is in CVC. Once one of the guys is in a good position, it doesn't mean that you just roll across the map with your big attack move ball, like they show in the Carbat animation video, which is very adorable. But it doesn't really work like that. You still have to be pretty methodical about it. You have to focus on your upgrades, on your unit composition, go up to 3 bases. But I do really like herO's position. I think, you know, if you have a checklist about how you want to play PvP, early game into mid-game transition, herO deserves a very big fat chat mark right now, because he's just been doing a phenomenal job and pretty much being on the money with everything. Getting his first cannon as well, perhaps worried about the new Oracle flying in later on. It's something what some Protoss players do sometimes. If after they open up with an Oracle they lose one, you know, if you kill the Oracle of your opponent, you're like, nice, don't have to worry about that Oracle anymore, and you pull all the stalkers away from your main base, and then suddenly a new Oracle flies in and kills 8 to 10 workers, and you hate life and hate Oracles and say something very, very evil. Blink stalkers over here starts poking forward, forcing a couple of defensive blinks. I don't think there is really too much that Stardust can do. You know, they're even on blink stalkers. herO even has a small upgrade advantage. I must say a lot of the stalkers from herO have already taken quite a bit of a beating, but in this phase in the game, most of the time blink stalkers won't make the difference unless one player went absolutely ham on them. And it's like trying to finish the game with 3-4 Immortals and 12 gate blink stalker, which can work, but is super YOLO, super all-in, and doesn't have the highest success rate. Let's just put it like that. I'm not saying it's never going to work, but most of the time you don't really want to do something like that with your tournament life on the line. Of course, this is a really big series for Stardust too. Stardust has been very successful over the last few months. Even at the Battlegrounds in Detroit, he had a pretty damn good run, made it all the way to the semi-finals. While herO is kind of like just the champion of Into Extreme Masters tournaments in general. He's moving forward. He would love to get a cancel on this base. I'm not sure if he can. He does have the Immortals though, but You know, if Stardust has enough Zealot, oh, good snipe on that pylon. So that means no additional weapons over here for Stardust. Guardian Shield is blocked. Oh, forward blink, he gets the Mothership Core, so he forces the fight, but this is exactly the same as on King's Jump Station. Was this really a fight that he wants? Look at these Immortals from here on the south side. They're getting nice and cozy with these Immortals, with these Colossus. Fantastic force fields, absolutely phenomenal force fields there by Stardust, saves his Colossus, but in the end it's still a very, very even fight. Another time up goes down, Stalkers try to kill the Colossus, and will succeed in doing so. You know, in the end, yes, Stardust sniped the Mothership Core, but he trades even, which is still not phenomenal. He lost his Colossus, lost his Immortals. If herO wouldn't have sniped this pylon early on, I think that would have all been different, because then Stardust is able to win that fight a little bit more convincingly. He gets a couple of Zealot weapons and stuff like that, and suddenly, you know, life is smiling at him. So herO, you know, both players lost a lot of their Stardust. Is actually ahead by 9 workers, which surprises me a little bit. But in the end, herO is sitting on 3 bases, so herO is going to be able to reproduce his army so much quicker than Stardust is. Both players are sitting on 1 Robo, and both players having a Templar Archives. And the ball is really in Stardust's corner, and the thing is, he just can't really do too much with it. All he can do is just try to get his expand up and running as soon as possible. He could try to freak out herO, eventually maybe add a Dark Shrine, try to wipe in a couple of Dark Templars here and there, and get some harass done, but I don't know. It's going to be hard for Stardust to find an opening. Best thing is to just try to sing this one out. He's trying to make something happen with the good old 4-stalker hit squad. As we all know, 4 stalkers is the magic number to one-shot rope, so if you get a couple of stalkers into a mineral line, you're going to have a really good time with it. But herO is too good. herO has map control, so he kind of knows where the army of Stardust is maneuvering as well. And herO just wants to try to push the issue once more. It's 69 against 55 supply, 3 Colossus against 4 herO has 4, and Stardust has 3. Stardust is 1 is out of position now. This is a little bit awkward. 1 Colossus is coming in from the right side. This I'm not sure how this one is going to go. It's really close to call, but I think in the end, herO's army is in a slightly better position, even though both players are just pretty clumped up. But look at these Zealots standing right on top of these Colossus of Stardust, and I think that this is going to be almost it. Stardust might be able to warp in a bunch of Zealots and somehow mess with the AI, but you know, there's just nothing left for Stardust other than these 2 Colossus, which are going to be extremely exposed. One of them falls immediately. These Zealots are clumped up. This one Archon is helping these Colossus, and that's going to be a GG is called. And CJ enters herO. He is going to be a Protoss player to move on to the next round, where I believe he will go up against Revival. But I'll try to get that confirmed for you guys.